There we go. Let's go.
Multiple times.
You betray me, everyone dies. It's that simple. It's that simple. And nobody escapes.
Get off my server!
Ah, hello there. You must be wondering what this throne is for. Or maybe you're wondering why I'm sitting on it. No worries, it's all very simple to explain. Over the past 3 months, I've been participating on a server called the Bounded SMP. I actually already have a couple of videos on my channel that explain most of what has happened on the server, but if you're impatient like myself, I'll briefly summarize them for you. First, I logged on to the Bounded SMP. Then, my friend backstabbed me while I was AFK at the very beginning of the server. In response, I asserted my Minecraft dominance by murdering his entire server. Finally, Ballistic, my friend, challenged me to a duel to reclaim the server's honor. As you can see by the throne that I am currently sitting on, his plan may or may not have gone horribly wrong. For both of us. See, what Bell didn't know is that I had actually found his secret base months before he ever challenged me to a duel, and I was planning to use all of my knowledge to execute an incredible 2-step plan. First, I would kill Bell at the duel arena, and then I would teleport myself to his base to kill him a few more times and blow up his base while he watched on helplessly. But this plan would be way harder to execute than I first anticipated. I had to deal with a few different problems. First, to thoroughly humiliate Bell, I needed to make sure that I dealt with him with the utmost speed and the least visible effort possible. So I spent 4 months perfecting Crystal PvP till I could hold my own with the very best, and then I designed an arena that was specifically created for this type of PvP. The next issue was that I needed to get to Bell's base quickly after he died so that he wouldn't have the opportunity to set up or prepare anything before I arrived. To solve this issue, I set up an Ender Pearl stasis chamber to teleport me to his base upon my killing him. The final issue was this. After the duel, the rest of the server was planning on attacking me in a desperate ploy to get their heads back. And as I was a ruler and these were my future subjects, I knew that I had to take this opportunity to annihilate any players who might oppose me. So I set up another Ender Pearl stasis chamber underneath the arena to teleport me back so I could kill the rest of the server a few more times after the duel ended. Now I just had to find out the best way to execute my plan. Ultimately, my solution was to have Shadowwolf, one of my main allies, teleport me to Bell's base after I killed him in the duel, and Prime, another one of my allies, teleport me back to the arena after I killed Bell at his base. I also enlisted the help of an undisclosed individual to help teleport Shadow away from the arena when the duel was starting so that Bell would not be suspicious of her. But I overlooked one key flaw in my plan. Shadowwolf was a traitor. See, there was certainly a time when I was suspicious of Shadowwolf, but she had managed to earn my trust by playing a key role in helping me find Bell's base. So I put my wariness aside and decided to have her play a key part in my plan. But I gave her too much knowledge and power, and she was just feeding information straight to Bell. I waited till the last day to throw my Ender Pearls into the stasis chambers that I prepared so that it would be difficult to find or trap them, but it really didn't matter because Bell was prepared to set up a trap as soon as I threw my pearls. So at that point, with every part of my plan perfectly prepared and executed, I logged off the night before the duel. But as soon as I logged off, Bell got to work executing his trap. He spent 8 hours creating a trap around both of my Ender Pearls so that each time I got teleported, I would be faced with certain death. But I'm no fool, and I was starting to grow suspicious. So I made one last check right before the duel to make sure everything was functioning as expected, and that's when I found this.
There is redstone down here and a piston? Whoa, wait, hold up. Oh, there's an ender chest down here. And a bed. And a nether... What? This doesn't... What is this? You want to start mining it up? Dude, I'm going to start mining it up.
At this point, I was just extremely confused. I knew that if this was a trap set up by Bell, then I needed to dismantle it immediately. But if it was something set up by Prime, then dismantling it could have ruined his plans, and he was my closest ally. So my top priority was to figure out who built this trap. And if it was Bell, then I knew my entire plan could be compromised.
Here, why don't we just break some of this obsidian to see what's inside? Because there's an observer in there, which means that there's a redstone signal going into it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm concerned about.
Just in case it is Prime. Help me. Oh no.
Oh, dude, you messed... Oh my god. You messed it all up.
So basically I'm so good at this game that I entirely dismantled one of Bell's traps without even meaning to. In fact, I was so clueless at this point that I was still concerned that I had just messed up one of Prime's contraptions, but in reality, I had accidentally sabotaged Bell. Fun fact, SKThree, my editor and ally, pressed this button on a whim and teleported Bell to an underwater cavern that he had planned to escape through after he had trapped me, and you can see him drowning for just a split second right here. It's fair to say that I was thoroughly confused at this point. Prime had told me that this wasn't his contraption, so I was certain there was foul play, but because there was so much I didn't know, I decided that the best course of action would be to simply remove all liabilities, starting with the 2 Ender Pearls I had thrown that had clearly been compromised. Remember, I didn't realize that I had triggered my first Ender Pearl by mining this block, so my gut reaction was to activate what I thought was my Ender Pearl stasis chamber under the arena so that it couldn't be used against me, when in reality it already had been used against me. So I went above the trap and triggered the contraption that was meant to teleport me back to the arena. However, instead of working as anticipated, Dara appeared. And when I activated the Ender Pearl that should have teleported Shadow to the duel arena, Will appeared. I wasn't certain about anything, but it was clear that our mission was compromised by a traitor, and I was convinced it was Shadow. So I pulled her into a private call and confronted her, forcing her to admit of her wrongdoings.
He knows something's up.
Did you tell him?
Yes.
With Shadow having admitted to working behind my back in an attempt to cause my downfall, I knew that I needed to get to Bell's base as quickly as possible to remove the liability that was my Ender Pearl stasis chamber. However, to my total shock, when I placed the blocks to activate my Ender Pearl, the one and only Ballistic 97 appeared where I should have.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the brand new hit show, What Did He Do? In this show, we're going to guess what Matt AP3DX did in response to his situation. Let's hop right in. When Matt AP3X saw the ballistic spawned instead of him, what did he do? A. Did he respect the rules of the duel and the server and let Bell walk away peacefully? What? No? Not a lot of you like that? Well, let's see. Did he B. kill Bell and disrespect the rules of the duel and the rules of the server? Okay, a little bit better. Or did he choose the hidden option, C, and did he kill Ballistic and everybody else on the server to go with it, disrespecting the server and the rules? What? You didn't know that was an option? Well, it was, because it was C! Wait, that means he's gonna come after me too, right? Well, at least I'm on this server and not the SMP.
I know that I framed that section somewhat jokingly, but when it went down, it was war. I'm not saying that blows were almost exchanged over a block game, but blood was definitely pumping. From Bell's perspective, I had clearly violated the rules that he had set out by murdering him before the duel, but from my perspective, it didn't really matter, since I was only following his rules in the first place to lure him out so that I could completely and utterly destroy him. Before the duel, there was still some question as to my authority on the Bounded SMP, but by killing Bell and the rest of the server, I made it clear that, as the Emperor of the Bounded SMP, I was above the rules. So I may or may not have totally ruined an event that my friend had spent months preparing, but I also sent a key message. If you mess with me, or if you betray me, I will entirely destroy you. As the event was at its close, I went back to my base so that I could put all my tools and potions away. And then I tabbed out to go join my enemy's call so that I could gloat of my victory. But I kind of forgot one key piece of information. I had 2 Ender Pearl stasis chambers, and the second one had never been removed, meaning Bell still had access to one of my Ender Pearls.
my gosh, Sam, you clever man. I was tapped out. You are clever, 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 or clever. But you're also about to be dead. You're gonna be dead, sir. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead!
Get off my server!
See, Bell spent a lot of time planning how to kill me, but he forgot one important thing. You don't kill the king, my guy. This is my server at this point, and you never really stood a chance against me from the very first day. On top of that, most of the server is already on my side. SKThree, who you thought was going to help kill me, literally stood behind you and blew himself up for his emperor. And the sentiment is shared by the rest of the server. Very few people are not on my side at this point. And anyone who is not actively helping me is completely under my rule because they understand that as long as they submit as my subject, they can do whatever they want. Even though I didn't get my head back during this duel, I like the outcome. In fact, I don't really care about my head anymore. I control this server through fear, and that's all that matters. I could run around chasing players on the server if I wanted, but the reality is that I don't need to anymore. So you better get used to my rule, Bell, because I'm going to be in this throne for a nice, long ride.